Well, here we are. We are live on Amazon. And if you're watching on a channel other than on Amazon Live, then I encourage you, go to amazon.com/live and join us there. And as we've got Professor Rao. We're going to be talking to him about his book, See the Light in You, and some of his other books. He has written more than 50 books, so plenty to talk about. And so here I'm in the West Coast, and it is just coming in on the end of the day, 4:30 here, 6:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, early for Professor Rao. So he is grateful. I'm grateful that he is joining us from India today. We're going to have fun talking about his book. And just some of the things I want to talk about is as we go live on Amazon, a lot of people want to know about the equipment that we use. So I do have highlighted in the carousel the microphone that I use, which is the Shure SM7B with the Cloud Lifter and the Focusrite Scarlett, and that converts that analog signal into digital. And does it make a difference? Well, let me just give you a little example of what it's like. This is what it's like when I'm using just the webcam. Maybe a lot of you have cameras built into your computer, or you're using the microphone in the computer, or you're using the microphone built into your webcam. That's what it sounds like, and it's fine. It works for many cases. But if you want to step it up, then use something like what I've got, the Shure SM7B, and you can use the one my wife uses, which is the Samson Q2U. That's also in the carousel. And so these are great tools. You want to be able to use those when possible. But with that little bit of introduction commercial, let's go and bring in Professor Rao, who is just starting his day in India. Welcome, Professor. Glad to have you here. And we've got your book highlighted in the carousel, See the Light in You. Welcome. Let's have you give an introduction of yourself to the folks here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. First of all, let me share with you the challenges that I encountered. I had brain stroke in the year 2021, and I survived because of my positive psychology, and because of the power of subconscious mind, and because of the healthy habits that I acquired from Indian Air Force. I'm dyslexic with the ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and I have lots of challenges, including mental challenges, physical challenges, and financial challenges. And my life is full of struggles and sufferings. Despite having several challenges, and despite having so many financial challenges, mental challenges, physical challenges, I'm not giving up. Precisely, I rose like a phoenix after the brain stroke. And exactly 1.5 years back, and I had COVID. My wife and I had COVID, and my wife recovered from COVID 1.5 years ago, and I too had COVID. But at that time, I had brain stroke, and my right portion of the body was paralyzed. And and gradually I recovered. I started walking, recovering, but my entire right portion of the body was paralyzed. And gradually I recovered, and I did some physiotherapy exercises, and I'm still doing physiotherapy exercises, and I'm going to gym also recently. So lots of challenges, and doctors thought that I won't survive, but I survived because of the power of subconscious mind. And I can't type with my right hand. My right hand is numb, tingling, and there is no sense to my right hand. So I am typing slowly with my left hand. So many challenges, and I am an Indian Air Force veteran, and at this of 18 years age, I joined Indian Air Force. and I was a college dropout, and at the age of 18, I worked very hard. Usually in military, we wake up at 4 o'clock and the night 10 o'clock we sleep. That is the routine we have in
Hmm.
military. So usually, what I used to do when all soldiers were sleeping with big hall in those days. I'm talking about 1982. So 1 hour extra, I used to invest my time in the street light. I used to I used to read in the night, and then again morning 4 o'clock I used to wake up, and I used to go for running, and I used to do physical activities, mental activities like that. I led a very challenging life. I'm always grateful to Indian Air Force because I came out my toxic parents and toxic siblings at the age of 18, and I developed a positive attitude, and I grew as a leader, and I grew as a resilient leader. And after I joined the Indian Air Force, I acquired a couple of qualifications like DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, PGDBM, and I earned my PhD soft skills in the year 2011. So all these things I acquired through private education, not through regular education. Usually, people think that I acquired all qualifications from
Hmm.
Stanford or Harvard, Kellogg, like that. But the reality is that I was a college dropout. So, despite several challenges and betrayals, I gradually recovered. Now, coming to me, I have authored more than 50 books, including the award-winning book titled "See the Light in You," for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword. I have authored more than 50 books. This is one of the books I am going to highlight right now. See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword. And I have a couple of books also. I'll show you some of them. This is the book on soft leadership, the father of modern marketing. Philip Kotler has written a foreword. Likewise, several people there were others from my connections. They have written books. This book on gender and diversity. For this book, the former Vice President of India, Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu, has written a foreword, and uh, I have dedicated this book to Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, and Winfrey. So I have dedicated. Then I have lots of books, and this is one of the books. Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. So I have more than 50 books as on today. So this is my journey of my life, and so many challenges. Yeah.
That's a uh, most people would like to write a book. Uh,
Yeah.
a few people actually write the book. Fewer people actually get them published.
Yeah.
Uh, but nobody writes as prolific as you do, unless you're maybe a romance novel writer. They'll write 50 books. But
Yeah.
uh, did you think that you had 50 books in you when you were first starting the first one?
No, no, no. It's not that. It is something a journey which I myself I don't know how I started this journey. But
Hmm.
let me share with you that romance with books, and one of the books is on romance. It was published. So,
Yeah.
so it's a coincidence that that book is in my shelves. Okay, behind. It's about romance. One book.
Nice.
I have one of the books is on romance. So that's the one. Now, coming to the question which I have asked, I never thought that I would write 50 books. But right from my childhood, I'm passionate about. Basically, I have read thousands of books during my lifetime,
Hmm.
and Abraham Lincoln has been my inspiration since my childhood, and I'm a voracious reader. And right from my childhood, I wanted to write, but there was no paper, so I used to write on my body. So that means I was thinking that it was a disease I had in my mind.
Mhm.
But later on, I realized that it was not a disease. I was passionate about writing. Although there was no uh, uh, paper, I was writing on my body. So that's how I was doing it. So then I realized that I discovered my passion for writing. But because of so many challenges, then again I joined Indian Air Force. So then I did business for some time. Then I entered into teaching field. Then I started writing because I started sharing my knowledge with the students. So I started writing. Then I started exploring various kinds of books. I wrote books on leadership, and training, development, gender, diversity, mindfulness, executive education, and CEOs. Like that, I entered into different domains. This is how the journey has started. And my first book, I think maybe around 12 or 30 years back, I wrote a book and sent the manuscript for publication. It was not published. I think more than 100 publishers rejected to my first book because I was making a debut. So
Mhm.
somehow I am persistent by nature, and I am passionate about writing. So maybe because of these factors, I persisted, and finally, after being rejected by more than 100 publishers, then finally my book was accepted and it was published. So that's how the journey of writing has started, and then gradually I developed a flow, and I started taking feedback because I believe two things in my life. One is learning, continuous learning. Second thing
Mhm.
is taking feedback. So because of these factors, I have grown, and
Mhm.
I have published 50 books, and 10 more books are yet to be published. But because of the brain stroke, the books are pending, and I can't edit. And I also I didn't have any focus on my mind.
Mhm.
I was thinking slow. Now also I'm thinking very slow, but gradually I'm recovering. Hopefully, when my right hand is comfortable, and I'll be able to type and I'll be able to write books. But I want to write a book, either a memoir or autobiography. But hopefully, I'll
Mhm.
write a memoir to inspire the world, to share my challenges, how I was betrayed by my own, some of my relatives and siblings. All those things I would like to share. So this is how my journey has started, and
Mhm.
I'm grateful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity, because you have lots of schedules and you have a lot of commitments. But despite all the schedules and commitments, you agreed to interview me. So I'm honored that you have interviewed me. I'm grateful to you.
Well, you're very
Yeah.
kind, and I appreciate it. I just want to say, Inger Van Roy says, "Good evening, gents." So, good morning for you, but she's there in Canada, so it's nice of her to tune in. So, hello, Inger. Um, there has been a lot of people that have been afflicted with COVID from in varying degrees, from asymptomatic to very severe. And I will say, obviously, yours was in that severe realm. And there's been a term that came out probably late last year called long COVID,
Yeah.
and where people they don't actually fully recover, but they don't know exactly what the mechanisms are. But there are long term effects,
Yeah.
and I think maybe even separate from the brain stroke.
Mm.
Uh, do you feel that you're a part of that as well?
I think you have asked the apt question. There's a term known as brain fog.
Yes.
We call it as, yeah, what you said is correct. I think we are thinking alike.
Hmm.
So it is known as brain fog. That means people after we call it as post COVID symptoms,
Hmm.
and usually people recover. But in my case, because I am already 59 years old, so for me, it took a long time to recover. That's one thing. I still have that brain walk. That means I'm a bit slow in connecting the dots.
Hmm.
So this is a challenge I'm encountering right now. Sometimes I'm stammering. See, you can see when
Hmm.
I'm thinking too much and thinking too long. So sometimes I'm stammering. So lots of challenges have come up after the prolonged COVID. But I'm gradually recovering because of my willpower. I'm doing meditation, I'm doing yoga, and I'm going to gym nowadays. For the last 6 months, I'm going to gym. Gradually, I'm doing these activities. See, when you do things, physical activities, gradually you will recover.
Hmm.
Okay. And for all the issues, one thing that has made me stand up is that the power of subconscious mind.
Yes.
The moment I collapsed after the brain stroke, then within my mind, because I was thinking, but I was not able to speak for almost a month. I had
Wow.
issues, but the power of subconscious mind. Yes, I am powerful. I am powerful. I am all right. I'm healthy. I'm healthy. So I was telling within my mind. Although I was on the bed, I was saying the same thing. I have the power. I have the power. I'm bouncing back. I'm raising like a phoenix. So like that, I was telling within my mind. So that power of subconscious mind helped me to recover. Otherwise, doctors thought that I won't survive after the brain stroke, but I survived despite prolonged what we call prolonged COVID and the brain fog, FOG fog we call it. Despite all the things, I am recovering because when people are young, it's easy to survive and bounce back. But there's a 15 years survival is very limited. But I
Mm.
survived. So many challenges, so many things. But despite all the things, I bounced back. It's because of the power of subconscious mind, and
Yeah.
also I have come from military background. Daily, I wake up morning around 4 o'clock, and the night 10 o'clock I sleep. This is the discipline. I don't go outside. I only read books. Of course, for the last 1.5 year, I am not able to read because if I read more than 30 minutes, I get strained in my. I get
Hmm.
pressure on my mind. So I keep shifting my things here and there. So I started watching YouTube channels because at least I can listen. After 30 minutes, if I get tension and if I get stress, then I shift to from one activity to another activity. So like that, I shifted my activity from one to another, so that I can lead my life
Hmm.
mindfully, peacefully, and happily. That's how I have done it.
So learning some new, I guess, processes and ways to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
manage that. Hmm.
Good. You're right. You're right. You're paraphrasing whatever I'm saying. Good. Thank you that you're paraphrasing what no you because you understand, you empathize with me.
Sure.
You understand my challenge. You understand my challenge, and you are empathizing. So it's nice that you are empathizing. Many people, they don't empathize. They speak from their perspective. This is a very big
Mm.
challenge. There are two things we need to address. One is eliminate ego. That's one thing. Second thing, you must empathize. So empathy is missing, not only India, everywhere.
Yeah.
So lots of issues. So I'm grateful to you that at least you are empathizing and you are
Yeah.
stepping into my shoes, and you are paraphrasing because of the what is that called pronunciation. Because I speak slow. That's one thing. Then you are able to pick up my ideas and you are able to put it and paraphrase. So I'm very happy because your accent is different. My
Sure.
accent is different because I'm speaking from Indian accent.
Hmm.
You are speaking from American accent.
West
So there's a
Coast. Yeah.
gap. There's a gap, but still
Hmm.
you are bridging that gap
Yeah.
by paraphrasing whatever I'm saying. You are paraphrasing. So I'm grateful to you for
Yeah.
paraphrasing and also for empathizing.
Well, you're very kind, and I'm glad to do that. I want to ask you about. a couple of things that are interesting about the book, and I'm going to put this up because I want to read this because there's something in your book that was, I will say, easy, and then there's a part that is really an interesting challenge. And so let me put this up just for a second. And so we have a quote that says, "One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world." And so that's a quote from Buddha, and we have that in your book.
Yeah.
Now, getting a quote like that, uh, I will say when you write, that's easy. We can find lots of quotes. We can quote great writers, inspirational people. Uh, but there's another thing on your book that says featuring a forward by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Uh, that's uh, I can put quotes in. I can't get the Dalai Lama to write a forward for me. So can you talk a little bit about that and how that came about? Because this is, to me, just fascinating in itself.
Okay, it's a interesting question and very apt. So, what you said at the end of the book, you will find about the book, about the other. Yeah, what you said is correct. So one moment can change a day, or one day can change a life, and one life can change the world, said Buddha. So it's very inspiring. Okay,
Hmm.
now your question is the journey with His Holiness Dalai Lama. So first of all, I'll tell you why I wrote this book. Usually, I write books in the various categories like leadership, training, executive education, diversity, students like that. When I was conducting training programs and also soft skills training programs for EMBA students and MBA students, I came across some students, a few students, they started committing suicides. So I felt very bad. I was deeply hurt, and why these things were happening in India, why the suicides were rising in India. So and I'm basically passionate about education and learning, and my vision is to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. Okay, let me tell you about this book also. This is the book.
Mm-hmm.
Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders, for which the first woman IPS officer, Dr. Kiran Bedi, has written a foreword, and she's a Max as a award winner. Okay, so when I was researching, I came to know that why the students the why students were committing suicide. Then I felt very bad and I was deeply hurt. Then a trigger came to my mind that I should address this issue. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started. I always get triggers. Whatever the triggers I get, I journal. I write in a book and make a note of it, and I'll explore when I find time. That's how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the trigger that has gone to my head. Then why suicides were coming. Then I wrote some articles and research paper on suicides, and then when I was again exploring, then I started thinking about divorces because the divorces are rising globally, and then there were breakups and marriages are failing, the suicides were rising. Then I started addressing about wellness, mindfulness, and I have taken some areas like taming the monkey mind, how to avoid this stress and burnout. So like that, I have written various articles and made them into a book. Then what happened? Then whenever I write a book, I request the concerned person who can write a foreword for this book, because
Mm-hmm.
this book will be about mindfulness and wellness. Then I thought the correct person for this book is His Holiness Dalai Lama. Then I requested His Holiness Dalai Lama. He lives in India, and I also live in India. Then I requested His Holiness Dalai Lama to write a foreword. and he told, then I sent my entire manuscript. Then it was read, then he has read it and appreciated. Then
Mm-hmm.
he has written a foreword for my book titled "See the Light in You." This is how the journey with uh, His Holiness Dalai Lama, the Nobel laureate, has begun. So I'm always grateful to His Holiness Dalai Lama for writing a foreword, because his time is very precious,
Mm-hmm.
and he took his time, busy schedules, and writing a foreword is not an easy thing. It's a very big thing. It's just like winning a Nobel Prize for me. So then he has approved, and he has written a foreword, and then the book has been published. Then what happened? Then this COVID has started some 3 years back. Then again, after COVID, and there was more emphasis on mindfulness and wellness.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Now, because the book was, I have written this book before COVID. Even then, I wanted to gift this book to His Holiness Dalai Lama, but then the COVID started. I think 2019, COVID-19. Yeah. Then I wanted to give the first copy to His Holiness Dalai Lama, but His Holiness Dalai Lama said that the COVID cases were rising, so this is not the time, because not to send the book. So then I sent the copy to His Holiness Dalai Lama. This is how the journey has started. So this is the journey with His Holiness Dalai Lama, and also this book is very much relevant. Not only 3 years back, now also, because after COVID, the things have changed. So people
Mm.
have understood how fragile the life is. Life is very short.
Yes.
We don't know what happens next. Okay, so this book is more relevant than ever, especially
Yes.
after the
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus. Yeah,
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the content in the book. And there's this emphasis on spirituality, the spiritualness,
yeah,
and mind, soul, spirit, and this separation. Because
yeah,
I will say, in the Western world, we're very good about the material side, and as a society, we're very good on material and building things and moving things and transporting and possessing. Uh, and I will say we're very weak on the spiritual side, on a good understanding of that. And I think in your book, you're able to help bridge that gap, and you have a
yeah.
good explanation of what is spirituality, and maybe that's a good place to start.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for a wonderful question. See, humans need money to survive. So, so we have to be materialistic to some extent. That's one thing. At the same time, you have to emphasize on spirituality, because whatever we do, we must add value and make a difference in the lives of others. So we must blend both materialism and spiritualism, because spiritualism means that gives you happiness, peace, prosperity. Okay, and this materialism is required because mm, money, we need money to survive. So we need money, so we need to emphasize materialism, because I have to survive, and I have to pay bills, all those things, so I need money. So we need to emphasize materialism, and also we should emphasize spiritualism. So when you emphasize materialism, you get money to survive, and you can lead your life uh,
Hmm.
peacefully, happily. And when you emphasize spirituality, that will connect your mind, body, soul, and you lead your life peacefully and happily. So we need to strike a balance between spiritualism and
Hmm.
materialism. That's what I emphasize. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that because it's too much of always too much of a good thing is a bad thing, right?
Yeah, you said correct. Anything of excess of anything is bad. I say
Yes,
that, yeah,
and
it's same. It's the
exactly.
same. What you say is right.
And we
Any,
say strengths,
anything of
right?
anything of too much bad, anything of too much is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Excess of
Right.
anything is bad. So we need to have everything in moderately. That means we need to strike the balance. We need to
Right.
strike the balance so that we can lead our life peaceful and happily. So we and also I talked about technology. Sometimes technology is not required, so we need to emphasize only spirituality, spiritualism. I say that we need to. You can't throw the technology away because
Right.
the technology is required. See, we are connected because of technology.
Correct. Yes.
You and I are connected because of technology. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to have technology. So we have to use this technology moderately. That means you need to harness the technology for
Mm-hmm.
social good and global good. This is one more point I would like to emphasize in this context. Yeah,
And I think what we see it too is that we see the rapid pace of change in technology,
yeah,
and we maybe overlay that onto the human factor. But
mm,
in reality, people have not changed. We haven't
yeah,
changed for thousands of years. We're
yeah,
this we're the same, but the tools have changed, but our needs are the same. We
yeah,
we still need we still need food and water and air and
yeah.
companionship and love and safety and all
Mm.
of those things. Those fundamentals have not changed.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. So we need to no, things have not changed. See, I would like to put it in this way. Theory of evolution. So humans evolved from different times. Now we have come to this era, and where we will go to the next era, next whether it's artificial intelligence or automation or all those things are fourth industrial revolution. So these things are changing very fast. But despite all the things, at the core, we are humans first and
Hmm.
humans last.
Hmm.
And we see again, I would like to add one more thing. People say, money is required, all those things. Yeah, it's required, but despite all the things, so we are humans at the core, and
Right.
we must emphasize humanity. There are
Hmm.
so many religions, so many castes, so many regions, different cultures, but the core is one. That is, we are humans. That is, we must emphasize humanity. So what you say is correct. That is resonating with me. So what you say is correct. I also agree with you. So that the core is same, essence is same. Only
Hmm.
thing little bit changes we need to change with the changing times and technologies.
So how
Because
do
otherwise you won't be relevant. So you have to be relevant in this world. If you don't survive, okay, change is the only thing that is constant in this world.
yes.
That everybody knows.
Hmm.
Even a kid will also tell all those things. But here, what is required is you need to change with the changing times and technologies. Because what worked in the past will not work now. What works now may not work in the future. So things are changing.
Hmm.
This is the one more area I would like to share with you.
Yes, because it again, balance. We need balance.
Yeah, yeah,
We end up
balance.
focusing a lot on we end up focusing a lot on the material, and I
Uh,
think the one of the reasons why is because it's measurable. I it's a number. I can put a number to the size of my bank account, retirement account, the value of my home, these things we can put value to, but and so those are the things that we end up measuring, and yet to the neglect of the spiritual and to our own detriment, we uh, lose that opportunity for the spiritual side. And so in your book you lay out a great argument. I'll say, you present the case for the spiritual side, What are some tips to help people that they'll find? What will people find in the book to say, okay, great, I need this balance. How do I gain the balance? What will I do?
It's a very vast topic. It's a very lengthy topic, but I would like to share a simple message from this book. There are
Yes.
so many things, are there. The message from this book is health first, education second, and wealth third. This is the essence of this entire book. Because whenever I write a book, I give a punch at the end. Okay, I coin a phrase. For every book, there is a phrase. So for this book, the phrase is health first, education second, and wealth third. This is the message from this book, and this covers about various aspects of this wellness and mindfulness. And let me share with you about this mindfulness. There are different types of definitions about mindfulness. I would like to say is that living in the present and without thinking too much about the future that we can't predict. At the same time, don't think about the unpleasant past that will never come back. So learn to live in the present. That's one area I would like to address. And uh, research shows clearly that people waste 30% of their precious time thinking about the unpleasant past that will never come back. So let bygones be bygones,
Mm,
and don't think too much about the future. Learn to live in the present. So learn to live in the present so that you can add value and enjoy your life happiness, and you can lead your life uh, happily. At the same time, I was interviewed by many people in the recent past. For the last three months, I am getting lots of opportunities to be interviewed. They say, you say that live in the present, then what about the future? They ask questions like that. I say, no, it's correct. We are optimistic of the future,
hmm.
but it's not at the cost of the present.
Yes, I like that.
I am repeating this statement. We are all optimistic because the humans have survived for many years and they have come up to this level, right? And we don't know what will be the next level. So we have to be very optimistic
Hmm.
and we have to be bullish, so that we can keep going in a right direction.
Right.
This is
Yeah,
this
I
is the
like
message
that.
I would like to share that you can have goals. Now I think this is the year 2022, and we are entering 2023. Next year we are entering, so we are
Right.
optimistic about the future.
Hmm.
So we have to be optimistic of the future, but at the same time you have to enjoy the present, right?
It was my father used to talk about people who were either living in the past or living in the future, right? It was the people who were like the good old days. Well, it used to be this and it was that, and you used to buy this and whatever, and it was all about the past. And then there were people who is it was just, I'm building my retirement account, I'm going to do this, um, so sacrificing for something in the future.
Yeah.
Uh, but both of those are at the expense of today. And he said, rough percentage. Yeah, we need to remember and learn from the past. So, a little bit of percentage from the past. Remember and learn. He goes, of course, we have to prepare for the future, but it's small. Because, but the most of it, maybe 80%, 90% should be for today.
Mm.
you know and I met this student. We were at this networking event, and there was 150 people there. Beautiful sunny day, spring day in May. Wonderful people in the conversation. But she was a student in nursing, and she was getting ready to graduate. This is May. She's going to graduate in June. And she said, I can't wait to be done with school and start working with her career. Well, of course, she's excited, right? She chose nursing. It's a giving profession. She was looking forward to that. But my comment to her was, I understand that you're looking forward to to actually practicing nursing, but you're in this room with 120 wonderful, 150 wonderful people. It's a beautiful spring day. The weather is gorgeous. We're having a great conversation. Is today not enough?
Yeah, I respect your father, and I respect your father's views, and I also admire when you talked about your father. So let me add some more points.
Yeah.
See, you have to. We talked about the unpleasant past. Okay. At the same time, we have to learn from the past also. That is history. Okay. So when you learn from lessons from the history, what happens? That will help you to live in the present and also predict about the future. So this is one way of saying the things, but it's a reality. We have to learn from the past. We have to learn from the history,
Mm-hmm.
and so that we can minimize the mistakes, because we all make mistakes
Yes.
in life.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone makes mistakes, and we also make mistakes. But what we have to do is that we have to learn from the mistakes from the past, that means from the history, so that we can evolve our strategies accordingly, and we
Mm-hmm.
can predict for the future, and so that we can create a beautiful future for the next generation. So I think you have given a very good trigger from your father's mind and conversation. So really, that has triggered my mind. So I support your father's views in this regard.
Yes. And so in your book too, I just say one of the things that is really important that you emphasize in there is not to exploit, not to take advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, this trigger I got from Dalai Lama, because we should not exploit the people. Yeah, this is one of the things, I think I have written, I have mentioned in one of the chapters is about exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
So exploiting animals or exploiting people is not good. Okay, so you don't try to don't take advantage from the issues, and don't try to exploit the people. That this is one of the areas I have mentioned in this book. I think one of the chapters is about exploitation. So
Mm-hmm.
never ever exploit the things, because remember, life is an echo. If you do good, good will come back to you. If you do
Mm-hmm.
bad, bad will come back to you. Life is an echo. So give good, and good will come back to you. This is
Mm-hmm.
one area I have mentioned in the book, and it's very apt in this context, and in this apt in the present conversation we both are having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really important. That and this is a theme in the book too. That
Yeah,
this
yeah,
this
yeah.
echo, this echo.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, good. You are getting. I think you are getting the best from my mind. You are very intelligent.
I agree.
You are very intelligent. You are digging everything and getting the best from my subconscious mind. Really, you are a very sharp interviewer. Usually, people what they do, they make it routine, but
Mm.
your conversation is lively and very interesting, and they are all open-ended conversation, not closed-ended conversations. I
Hmm.
have seen many interviews. What they do, they give some questions, and we give answers. They will ask questions, and we give answers.
Ah, yes.
But that doesn't work in the long run. When you want to add value, it's
Hmm.
definitely you have to ask questions that are very provoking, so that will help me think and come out from my subconscious mind. So I'm grateful to you that you have asked so many questions, and that too very sensitive questions, but very relevant questions and very apt questions. Thank you for
Yes, my
getting the
pleasure.
best from my conversation. I hope your listeners will enjoy it.
Yes, yes, definitely. I want to I'm going to go back to, because you said this is the punctuation point. Health first, education second,
Yeah,
wealth
yeah,
wealth third.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Oh, good, good. It seems you have done a lot of research. It seems that means you are very passionate interviewer. Huh?
Hmm.
No, we need to interview. You see, interview is not just an easy thing.
Hmm.
I have to do some research, and the host and the guest and the host, you should also do research. Then we set the tone, and we make it lively, and we'll make it interactive so that listeners will enjoy, and they learn something from us. They will have some takeaways from our conversation, because time is very limited.
Yes.
So we must know how to leverage our time in such a way that we add value to the listeners. So this is
Hmm.
one area we must emphasize, whether you are host or guest. This is the downline. This is the essence of any kind of conversation. We have to add value. We have to ensure takeaways to the listeners.
Well, as we start to wind down here, Professor, it's just been a privilege to talk with you here and to learn more about your journey. And um, so we have the book in the carousel. People can click on that, see the light in you. Plus the other books, we have some soft leadership strategies, a soup for academic leaders, success sutras for students, and smart leadership. Anyway, we've got a handful of your books in the carousel, so people can just click on those and learn more about you. Yeah, because and maybe we can finish up with this. Um, you are the father of soft leadership. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that, and when we'll kind of, and then we'll wind up.
Okay. 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 So these are all the books. Okay. Now coming to this topic, uh, uh, I'm passionate about leadership because I have come from military background. One.
Hmm.
Then I acquired my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011. I did research for 4 years on soft skills. Then I
Hmm.
have blended soft skills with leadership. Then I have coined it as soft leadership. And how this idea came to my mind was that when I was conducting training programs for EMBA students and MDP programs and MBA students, they were asking me that, sir, we have so many styles like autocratic leadership style, laissez-faire, delegative leadership, then so many servant leadership. So many kinds of leadership styles are there. Sir, it's time for you to explore something, a new leadership style,
Hmm.
because that is what is required. Then the trigger came to my mind how to go about this, because the students, I mean, students are the learners. They were asking. Then I jot down what are the ideas come to my mind, and I always scribble and write down. Then later I will take feedback and then explore. That's how I do it. This is my way of learning the things. Then I did research. Then I have coined this soft skills with soft leadership, and I think around 6 to 7 books have been published on soft leadership.
Hmm.
And this soft leadership is all about blending. What is that called? Soft leadership is all about the people orientation, but without compromising task orientation. It is
Hmm.
like, there currently there are some bosses, subordinates. So now the things have changed with the changing times and technologies. So we have to work for partners. It's a kind of partnership, not like leaders and subordinates, because things are changing. That's one. So we have various types of generations, like baby boomers,
Hmm.
generation X, generation Y, generation Z, like that. So many things. So one more book is yet to be published about generational, to addressing the generational differences. Then the generation millennials. and centennials, and they want to work with partners, not with bosses and subordinates. So they are looking for some leadership styles where they can work with partners, like with leaders and subordinates. Then I have coined, and then I have written a couple of books, and blended soft skills with the soft leadership and coined soft leadership. This is how the journey of soft leadership. This soft leadership helps achieve organizational excellence and effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
This is for organization. This helps for countries to achieve peace and prosperity. So that means the soft leadership can be applied everywhere, like for organizations and also for countries. So like this, I have covered various aspects of soft leadership. This is what is all about soft leadership, and I am known as the father of soft leadership globally because I have published so many research papers.
Mm-hmm.
More than 100 research papers I have published in Hemorrhage, and I was editor of various journals like Hemorrhage, and so many offers I have got, but I rejected all the offers. More than 100 research papers I have published,
Mm-hmm.
various areas of interest, various domains. So like this, then this is the journey of soft leadership has come, and Philip Kotler, who is known as the father of modern marketing, has written a foreword for this book. He's
Mm-hmm.
a very renowned person. Okay, and I have dedicated this book to Peter Drucker,
Oh
who
yes.
is known as the father of
Modern management.
modern management. I admire Peter Drucker, and I have dedicated this book to Peter Drucker.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, this is one thing because I dedicate books to some good people and great people. So
Yeah.
as I said sometime back that I have dedicated one of the books, this Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, and Oprah Winfrey. So
Mm-hmm.
like that, I
Yeah.
keep dedicating to people across the world. So this is the thing. And Dave Aldrich is known as the father of modern HR, has helped me, and he has also written a foreword for one of the books, and I have dedicated one of the books to Dave Aldrich also. He's a very good friend of mine. He's in my connections. Okay, so this is the specialty of this book. That means I am known as the father of uh, uh, I am known as a father of soft leadership, and Dave Aldrich is known as the father of modern HR, and dedicated to Peter Drucker,
Mm-hmm.
who is known as the father of modern management, and Philip Kotler, who is the father of modern marketing. So this is the specialty of this book. So all great people are there. For every
That's
book is
great.
different. Every book is unique. Every book
Mm.
is different. Every book gives a message. And let me share with you that I don't know how how our time went on. I don't know really. I thought it would. Usually, I can't speak more than 15 to 30 minutes because I get stressed out because of the health
Mm.
issues. Now I don't understand how our time has been spent,
We
rather
have
how
done.
our time has been invested
We have.
effectively.
We've done well in it. In
Excellent,
I've
not
learned a
well.
lot,
No,
and
we,
so
we have done the best. I'm telling you, we have done the best. Why?
we.
Because I didn't know that the conversation will go on too long. But you made my day very special. I express my gratitude to you. I think
Well,
this is the first time you have
you're
interviewed.
welcome. You're welcome. I've enjoyed spending time with you. We'll just put this punctuation point up for the book. See the light in you. Uh, Health first, education second, and wealth third.
Yeah,
Professor Rao, thank you for joining us here on Amazon. All the books are in the carousel. People can click on those and add to cart. And I will say, this is a great library to start reading for 2023. So I will just say,
So
let me just have people find out how to get in contact with you. Obviously, the book, but let's
yeah.
have how people get in contact with you, and then
Yeah.
we'll finish up.
I was going to ask the question, and you are also asking this question. Good, good. It's nice. I wanted to ask you the same question. See, my books are available on Amazon and various other social media platforms. My books are available on Amazon and various other online stores. That's one. And I have four blogs. One of the blogs is about Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. And I have two YouTube channels, and I'm active especially on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a professional network,
Hmm.
and I have YouTube channels, and I also tweet sometimes, but I can't manage my time for all the things. So since I am focusing especially on LinkedIn, and so many endorsements I have received, so it's because of LinkedIn. So my books are available everywhere. Only thing you have to know my name is Professor M. S. Rao, RAO. If you can Google my name, Professor M. S. RAO, you will get everything online. I have so many pages on Google, so they can buy. You can get a lot of free stuff because I am passionate about sharing my knowledge freely with the world. My vision is to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. So far, I have trained more than 50,000 students as global leaders, and I do a lot of things free of cost, despite having financial constraints, despite being a dyslexic, despite with ADHD. So this is what I can share with you.
That's very inspiring. I'm going to say thank you. I'll send you into the green room. Stand by for just a moment.
Thank you very much. And with gratitude, I am grateful to you for this wonderful opportunity. Scott, I am grateful to you once again. I'm repeating. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Thank you. You made my day special.
Well, Professor Rao, he's in India. I'm in Oregon. And so nearly on opposite sides of this globe of ours. And so we're winding the day down there. He's just getting his day started. So wonderful to have him here with us on Amazon Live. All of his books, not all of his books. We've got a handful of his books, 50 plus books, plus all the research papers are out there. See the Light in You. I definitely recommend that you take a look at the book, add it to your reading list for the year, plus his other books, and that punctuation point in his book, Health First, Education Second, and Wealth Third. And with that, I'm going to put his book back up here and say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for joining us here on Amazon Live. And to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and may 2023 be your best year ever.